This is Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. I've talked about it before, but when I find a new perspective or information on any subject, I like to go back and discuss it further. This is particularly interesting because it's from a Roman Catholic monk, but I thought he had some good perspectives, different perspectives, and I wanted to share them with you. Many monasteries and convents are engaged in different commercial ventures. One is Little Portion Hermitage Monastery. John Michael Talbot, the founder, resides here, is a well-known Christian recording artist. It is a hermitage, convent, monastery made up of monks, nuns, and other lay people. They have a great bakery. It's really good, which you can order online. Highly recommend. It's Little Portion Hermitage and Monastery, and you can find it on Google. This is from Father Malachi. The platform is a website called Hallow. It is very interesting, very well done. It features various Roman Catholic priests, religious, and lay people, and also a number of well-known celebrities. Mark Wahlberg is one. Mel Gibson has been featured. Deborah Heaton from Everyone Loves Raymond, and others who you would recognize. And I think the site is worthwhile. It doesn't push a lot of just Roman Catholic. It sticks pretty much to the fundamentals of Christianity and people who live their life in Jesus and in the world, living that life. Some of the Roman Catholic media gets too focused on Jesus's mother, Mary, but this platform seems to keep well focused on the basics of being a Christian. There are many different programs in this one website, and one of them is called Monk Minute. It was founded by a man who was a monk and then left to go back into the world. I think he brings good perspective on applying principalities, or that is principles of living very deeply in your Christian life. Father Malachi states, we will reflect on the principle of being more human at work and study. By studying he means scripture mostly and other prominent Christian writings. And this will be very interesting perspective for you to study how you can live for Christ in your vocation. And since this is 4th of July week, we will have some great patriotic memories. I'm Jim Driscoll, pastor, Christ Lutheran Church, 1302 East Washington Street, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Check us on the web, christlutherannewcastle.org. Questions, comments, contact me on the website. For a transcript of today's thought, go to revjamesdriscollmdiv.com. Sunday worship is at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. God bless your day. This is Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. This week, we're talking about living our Christian life and our vocation. And vocation covers many areas of life, really all areas of life. You can be an executive at the level of Elon Musk, professionals such as a lawyer, accountant, hold public office, be an athlete, certainly be a minister, priest, any kind of religious. This is all good for all of us, how we can live our life in the workplace honoring Jesus. Since we are talking about different websites, I also have a page on LinkedIn that I welcome you to be a part of. It is called Christian in the Workplace. A feature, these thoughts for the day appear on this page along with input from the other 500 plus members of this page. I think that if nothing else, it is nice to be in fellowship with fellow believers, men and women who also hold to the Christian faith. This is from Father Malachi, and he is on Hallow website. And the particular page is called Monk Mindset. Quote, observes that the friars whom the Lord has given the grace of working shall work faithfully and devotedly in such a way that, avoiding idleness, the enemy of the soul, they do not extinguish the spirit of holy prayer and devotion to which all temporal things ought to contribute, unquote. I think this is a great point, especially in terms of monks, because usually they do have particular jobs to do. Both monks and nuns often work in different fields, such as education, medical, agricultural. There is a monastery that has a bakery run by monks and nuns and others, and has great baked goods that you can order online and have shipped. Little Portion Monastery. So certainly Father Malachi has a good perspective on living life in the world, but still maintaining his, along with the other members of the company, perspective on primarily being focused in Jesus and Christian life. I'm Jim Driscoll, pastor at Christ Lutheran Church, 1302 East Washington Street, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Check us out on the web. It's christlutheran-newcastle.org. Questions, comments, contact me on the website. For a transcript of today's thought, go to revjamesdriscollmdiv.com. Sunday worship is at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome. With the NCTV 45 thought for the day. God bless your day. This is Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. Jim, also known as J. Warner Wallace, is one of those authors that if he published his grocery shopping list, I would read it. He was an atheist. He became a devout Christian, and he has written many books on Christian apologetics. He was a Los Angeles County police officer, became a cold case detective, and was a featured guest on Dateline on a regular basis. He has applied many techniques of police investigation and procedure to how we can understand, apply, and explain to others our Christian life. In this article, Wallace describes how to treat your spouse in a way that is God-honoring. Quote, if both spouses are Christ followers, we can approach every marital encounter knowing that how we treat our spouse is between us and God, and how our spouses treat us is between them and God. We're doing it because the God who saved us has asked us to. Once that clicks, a shift happens. Instead of asking, what am I getting out of this? We start asking, am I being faithful in how I love and serve? Unquote. That's humility in action. Properly estimate who you are. Let your spouse safely point out your strengths and blind spots. Marriage is like body cam for our souls. It shows what we're really like, not just how we see ourselves. Celebrate others, especially your spouse. Make it a habit to call out specific things that your spouse does well. This works against the internal narrative that we're the one carrying all the weight. Compare vertically, not horizontally. Stop measuring yourself against weaker officers or more dysfunctional couples. Compare your heart to Christ's example in passages like John 13 and Philippians 2. Practice gratitude on purpose. Pride says, I deserve more. Humility says, I'm grateful I have been given this. Make a written or mental list of what you appreciate about your spouse and your life, even on hard weeks. In police work, we often act fast and let our feelings catch up later. Humility works the same way. It's often easier to act our way into feelings than feel our way into actions. Start acting like a humble servant at home, and over time, our hearts will begin to shift. Unquote. I'm Jim Driscoll, pastor of Christ Lutheran Church, 1302 East Washington Street, and that is in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Check us out on the web. It's christlutheran-newcastle.org. Questions, comments, contact me on the website. For a transcript of today's thought, go to revjamesdriscollmdiv.com. Sunday worship is at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome. With the NCTV 45 thought for the day, God bless your day. This is Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. We're going to do something a little different today, since it's 2 days before 4th of July, or it's really called Independence Day. And this is the Boston Pops Orchestra. Nobody else in the world knows how to do Independence Day like the Boston Pops. And this is a recent concert of theirs. They have a huge concert on the Esplanade in Boston in the half shell. You just have to go and look at it to understand what that all means. But I'm going to do something a little different. And so we are going to play this. This is the Boston Pops playing Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa. Okay, at some point it will start. All right. Now, if that doesn't get your heart all Johnny jump up, I don't know what could happen. This that is on YouTube. That is the Boston Pops, and that is Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa. Uh, there's a lot of people who don't know that. And this is uh, one of their Fourth of July observances. Happy Fourth of July to all. This is Jim Driscoll, pastor of Christ Lutheran Church, 1302 East Washington Street, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Check us out on the web. It's christlutheran-newcastle.org. Questions, comments, contact me on the website. Thought for a transcript of today's thought, go to Rev. James Driscoll, mdiv.com. Sunday worship is at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome. That means you. With the NCTV 45 thought for the day, God bless your day, and tune in tomorrow for more patriotic music. This is Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church with the NCTV 45 thought for the day. Well, happy Independence Day. What country has 4th of July? All of them. Everybody has a July 4th. We have Independence Day, and that is what tomorrow actually is. And in observance of that, nobody in the world does Independence Day the way the Boston Pops does on the Esplanade. It's right next to the Charles River, and that's in Boston. And they do such a great job. And I'm going to show you, it's on YouTube. It's a recording from 1976, the 200th anniversary. This is Arthur Fiedler, who's directing the Boston Pops. And this is what is called the 1812 Overture by a man named Tchaikovsky, in case you don't know. And I get it. Lots of people don't know. But again, this is a little weird, but hey, let's give this a shot. That is the Charles River in the background. And they're going to be cannon shots. And they're going to be fireworks. And I don't know who that is. By the way, 1812 Overture refers to the War of 1812. You don't know what that is, look it up. I have no idea who these two people are, but it will get interesting in a few seconds. when the cannon fire and the fireworks start. All right, I don't care what you think. Look at that, look at those. And there's a whole long fireworks display. They have it every year. Usually they have it on Bloomberg television. So if you have that, it's a treat. And if you really want a treat, you can sit there with 400,000 other people and watch it, because that's about how many usually show up for this. So yeah, it is an incredibly popular event. And you usually have to get there the night before to get any kind of a decent seat. And again, that's Arthur Fiedler, who was the legendary conductor of Boston Pops for decades. I don't even know how long, as long as I remember. All right, so this is Thought for the Day. I'm Pastor Jim Driscoll of Christ Lutheran Church. We're at 1302 East Washington Street, and that is in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Check us out on the web. It's christlutheran-newcastle.org. Questions, comments, contact me on the website. For a transcript of today's thought, go to revjamesdriscollmdiv.com. Sunday worship is at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome, and that means you. With the NCTV 45 thought for the day, God bless your day, and happy Independence Day.